WeWork went from being the highest valued startup of all time to losing almost its entire valuation in a matter of months. At the center of it all was the most eccentric founder the startup world has ever seen, Adam Neumann. From global domination to the brink of bankruptcy in a space of just 6 months, where did it all go wrong for WeWork? Welcome back to season 2 of Let's Do Shorts. WeWork wasn't selling a co-working space, it was selling a lifestyle. It wanted to change how people worked. It wanted to change how people felt about work. And right at the front was the ever so charming Adam Neumann. Adam was charismatic. Adam was convincing. Adam walked around barefoot. He smoked weed. He did tequila shots in meetings. He banned meat in office. And yet he always ended up walking away with unimaginable deals for WeWork. Under him, WeWork grew exponentially. It raised money like money meant nothing. It opened locations like rent meant nothing. It expanded to countries like borders meant nothing. But the pivotal moment was when SoftBank entered the chat. It came in with a $10 billion investment in WeWork, valuing the company at a gigantic $47 billion. $47 billion is a wildly huge number. And a loss-making company like WeWork clearly shouldn't be worth that much. And it wasn't. But why did it not alarm people? Did they not have other companies they could compare WeWork with to really ensure they got this number right? Guess what? They did. IWG is a European company that did the same thing as WeWork did. Rent out co-working spaces. In fact, IWG was doing far better than WeWork at its peak. IWG had more members. IWG was present in more countries. IWG had way more office units. And more importantly, IWG was profitable, which WeWork couldn't even dream of. IWG, however, at the same time was valued at less than $4 billion, which is less than 10% of WeWork's valuation. What in the world, SoftBank? Can you imagine what IWG was thinking at the time? They were running a profitable business better than everyone else, and all the entire world could talk about was about how awesome WeWork was. But why were people buying into this mess in the first place? Think about it. What was WeWork's mission statement? To elevate the world's consciousness. What in the world does that even mean? It's a company that rents out desks to people. It was all because of Adam Neumann's gift of salesmanship. People wanted to believe in him. More importantly, people didn't want to miss out on the next big thing. Don't forget, all of this was happening at the peak of the startup era. So, what went wrong? In one sentence, WeWork got way too much money, way too fast, without knowing how to spend it. And if you wanted to get into the deets, here we go. Let's start with Adam's reckless shopping spree. He acquired companies based on whims and fancies instead of logical business fundamentals. WeWork, a co-working space, acquired a wave pool company. I honestly don't even know what it means, and yet I know that it doesn't make sense. WeWork, a co-working space, acquired a superfoods company just because Adam met the founder while surfing and got along with him. WeWork, a co-working space, invested large sums of money in a new school where they hoped to change how children learned. WeWork invested $750 million in acquisitions during this shopping spree, which were all eventually sold for $150 million, a loss of 80%. And it wasn't just the reckless spending. It was the business model in itself. WeWork was leasing office spaces from landlords for a 15-year timeline. But WeWork customers were renting those spaces from WeWork for a 30-day timeline, which means that all customers could stop paying rent to WeWork in just 30 days, but WeWork would have to continue paying their lease for 15 years no matter what. But the final and most dramatic nail in the coffin was when WeWork filed for an IPO. Why? Their financial statements became public, and everyone on Wall Street had a field day with it. Those financial statements for the first time ever revealed just how poorly managed the company's finances were. just how much money they were burning every single month, just how ridiculous were the things that they were burning it on, and just how non-reversible this whole thing was becoming. What happened next? People started realizing that the true value of the company isn't even close to $47 billion. Instead, it was more like $12 billion. WeWork postponed the IPO. A few torrid board meetings later, Adam Neumann was finally removed from the company as well. But hold on, why would he agree to move out of the company he built so fondly? Money. Lots and lots of money. Adam realized that people found his way of running the company way too eccentric for their tastes. As long as he was running shop, the company would never be able to raise money to continue being in business. No investment means bankruptcy, and bankruptcy means his shareholdings in the company would be worthless. On the other hand, if he left the company, his stock in the company would continue to add to his wealth. More importantly, he also walked away with a brilliantly negotiated exit package of $250 million. So, what was WeWork's first task after he left? Figure out a way to reduce cost. And how do companies do that? Unfortunately, by firing employees. But in WeWork's case, they didn't even have enough money to fire their employees. Because if they did, they would have to pay them a severance package. Now that is wild.